We're here at the 2011 Atlanta Drupal Business Summit, and I'm here with Glenn Hilton, the owner of ImageX Media. Can you tell us a little bit about your involvement with Drupal, Glenn?
Sure. Our company, ImageX, started with Drupal about 6 years ago, back when it was like 4.7, and it's been a great journey for us. When we made the decision to choose Drupal, we were actually looking at a number of different technologies and different open source platforms, and we were really happy we made the decision to go with Drupal because our growth really exploded once we made that decision to choose that CMS.
Excellent. You recently did a launch with Portland State University, is that right? Can you tell us a little about that?
Sure. It's a project we started a year and a half ago or so, built it on Drupal 7. It's a multi-site build-out. It's been exciting to be involved in a project that's in the education space. It's an area that I see as a huge need. A lot of universities and even school districts have different departments or school sites that are built on different platforms, are being designed or created by outside resources or some by internal IT departments, but many of them are going in different directions. And to see a university come to us with a common game plan to want to take all of their department sites on a single CMS and to build that out with a common theme, it's been an exciting project to be involved in, and it's a great way to be able to save resources for an educational institution to take an approach like that, and for us to be involved in doing that with Drupal 7 and to see 193 departmental sites migrated over to go through the process and see each of those sites have the ability to push content through a syndication network all the way through to being able to create new departmental sites with a flick of a switch. With a theming system that's enabling them to keep a brand consistency across all of those sites, but to give each individual site the ability to theme out in the way that department would like to see their theme go. So that's been kind of a neat opportunity for us to be involved in. Launched 2 weeks ago, and we're excited to see what the next step will be for us in the education space.
Well, we do want to hear about why it's important to get involved with Drupal, as a community perspective. I know you came all the way from Vancouver today, so why'd you come all this way?
Sure. I've known Dave Terry from MediaCurrent for, he's probably one of the first people I got to know in the Drupal community, and we've stayed really close connected ever since then. And one of the things that drew me to the Drupal community was the fact that businesses really weren't to themselves. Competitors would actually work with other businesses and really help one another out. Dave and I, over the phone and through email, began to communicate back and forth in a lot of ways, and Dave's helped me out tremendously. And so I really wanted to come. I knew this was going to be the first Drupal summit that had actually been planned in conjunction with a camp, and I was excited about the new concept. We're actually going to do it in Vancouver probably next spring too, and I wanted to be here for Dave to kick that off. And also gotten to know a lot of other shop owners, had the opportunity to work with them to develop and grow our businesses, and also to be on business dev panels that we've been able to have at different camps. We go to about 7 or 8 different camps through the year and have been able to help other business owners too.
Well, yeah, it's great. That's one of the things that I love most about Drupal too, is the community involvement. Can you tell us maybe about a couple other projects you're working on, any other Drupal related
Sure.
items?
We just released a project for Leo Laporte, the tech guy from Silicon Valley, his Twit TV site, and are just starting the works on some other work for them. That's been an exciting project. Are just starting a project with Oncology Nursing Society based out of Pittsburgh, and there's been 2 or 3 projects that we'll be getting ongoing with them. Just doing a large site for AgaCon, which is a humanitarian world relief organization with 80,000 employees. It's going to be a pretty exciting project that we're getting on with them. Yeah.
Staying busy. What about employee recruiting and retention? I know that this is another important point that you've talked about before. Can you give us any highlights on that?
Sure. For us, it's really been key to provide a place that people want to come to and a place that they want to work. And so being able to balance that with having a reasonable work hours, to give them a place where they feel like they can have ownership, a place where their supervisors will listen to them, take their ideas and act on them, opportunities to grow and develop for us to put back into them, to send them off to camps for education, to development, to hone their skills, and just creating a fun atmosphere that they like to come to each day have been a few key things for us.
That's great. I know Media Current utilizes a couple of those points too, which is why I love working there. And so lastly, if there was one thing that you could change about Drupal, what would it be?
I would say it would be just putting a greater emphasis on the design and the UI. When I first got involved with Drupal, I have to admit that wasn't something that drew me to it. I was very proud of the fact that it was extremely powerful, scalable, and had an extensive community. But the design and UI has always been lacking. It's great to see some improvements in that area.
Absolutely.
But there's so much more that needs to be done. I look at a platform like WordPress, and it's been huge with the design community, and Drupal has really lagged behind in that regard, and I'd love to be able to be a part of helping make a difference and attract more designers to using Drupal.
Yeah, as a designer, I totally agree with you. I think we're catching up. We're making strides in that direction, so it's excellent. So thanks a lot for joining us today, Glenn, and I'm Kendall Totten at the 2011 Atlanta Drupal Business Summit.